Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 808 Podcast. It's a podcast where we take business owners, CEOs, marketing directors, whoever else I feel like. It is 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob, and here we go. Question number 1, a few sentences. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so I'm everything freelance economy. I lead a software company called Venturel. We help freelancers scale. I publish The Human Cloud, writing the new rules of work for the freelance economy. And I'm always helping leaders scale themselves by hiring freelancers.
And what is your name?
Matthew Mottola.
Perfect. I knew what it was, but I wanted to hear you say it there. So Matthew, question number 2, what advice would you like to share? Go.
Yeah, we're going to discuss how to scale your business by hiring freelancers. You can be a freelancer yourself wanting to grow, or you can be a leader either in corporate or running your own company.
Good. How do you do it?
So first step, you got to figure out what outcomes you need to drive. If you're a CEO and you're just starting, you probably need some marketing, you probably need some go-to-market, and you probably need some product development. So step number 1, let's start to identify what those outcomes are. Now, step number 2, if it wasn't the freelance economy, is you would figure out job requirements or you'd go to an agency. You don't need that in the freelance economy model. There's literally freelancers or experts around the world that are ready to work with you ASAP, meaning right now. So take those outcomes, figure out what is the smallest, most risk-free work item that you can outsource for. So let's say that you are a CEO, you're about to launch a new feature. Go get a freelancer to actually research what is out there. Spend $250 to $500. Have that freelancer figure out the top 5 people solving it and have them figure out what's working, what's not working. Second thing, go build it. Have a freelancer build a wireframe. They can be a designer, they can be a full stack developer, doesn't matter. Third step, you're gonna have to go to market. Get a freelancer to write the press release. Get a freelancer to do social. I think you kind of get the gist now that as long as you have the outcome, anything is possible. Now, let's get super tangible about what this looks like so shit doesn't go wrong. Number 1, make it risk-free. Number 2, make it digital and make it remote. Number 3, don't be that different. Treat them no different than an employee that you want to see grow within your organization. Freelancers are going to be the tool for you to scale, not just your company, but yourself as a leader for the next 50 to 100 years. So back to number 3, do not treat them any different. Treat them like an employee that you want to see grow and work for you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to definitely call them you go do this.
No, hell no. It is a mutual symbiotic relationship where the freelancer is actually the expert. And that is one big difference is unlike hiring someone underneath you, freelancers are alongside of you. They are most likely better at what you're hiring them for them to do. So let them figure out how to do it, align on an outcome, and just let them surprise you.
Love it. Love it there. Hey, let's get to question number 3. It is time for shout outs. Matthew, who you shouting out?
Okay, I love leaders, to be honest. And I love the people that you necessarily don't see on a loudspeaker, but you see in the background, meaning their companies or the stuff that they build. So I personally love a lot of niche freelance platforms. Liza Rodewald over at Instant Teams, she's enabling military spouses to work wherever they want, whenever they want, and have a career. We Are Rosie, specifically Stephanie Nady Olson, is enabling marketing to happen for all different groups of people. Within accounting and finance, Michael Burdick over at Paro. Within students, which I'm personally very, very passionate about because I was a student freelancer, there's a company called Parker Dewey run by Jeffrey Moss. When you come to freelancers, there are some incredible freelancers. Go hire a woman named Sam Mason right now. You probably can't hire her because she's too busy. Then go hire Jay Chima. Jay Chima also probably too busy, but he's the best presenter in the world. Next, hire Lauren Detweiler. She's going to handle your content management. Like I said, best freelancer in the world. Go try to hire Sarah Archer. She's probably flying all around the world. She's also going to help you out with content. And then if you have any more questions, as you can tell, there's plenty of people in sort of my own personal bench that I'd be more than happy to point you to. Reach out.
Wow, I think you hold the record for the most shout outs.
Yeah, I got a lot of people that I owe and are responsible for helping.
No, that is awesome. Now, question number 4, final fun question. Matthew, tell me about your first sale.
Oh, man. Well, actually, my first business was I tried to build a golf course in my yard when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. And every car that went by, I would try to wave them down and say, hey, give me $5 and you can play golf in my backyard. I think one old guy felt bad for me and gave me $5 and didn't actually play, but my parents were pretty pissed when they found that out. But a real sale actually was when I was one of my early starts that I was early at. We developed this thing called ideation, and ideation enabled companies to figure out what should be built in the software development lifecycle. So we're talking about $1 million software projects where people were throwing out words like machine learning, AI, deep learning, all this stuff. And thank God for freelancers, because literally all I did was I said, you're going to figure out what should be built, and you're going to have the best freelancer in the world scoping that out with you side by side. That was my first sale. I think it was a company in India, actually.
Love it. Love it there. So Matthew, you've got 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. You can do some promo time. You can ask me a question. You can talk about the weather, whatever you want. Or since the best and wouldn't be concise and when to end, we end early. Go for it.
Bob, why do you do what you do?
Networking.
Ooh, what is the worst thing about your job?
The worst thing about the podcast, or worst thing about my job in general?
In general.
In general, probably the fact is that I haven't worn pants in almost a year, or very rarely.
What do you?
So now that when I put on pants, it feels weird. And it's not because I've gained weight. It's not that. There's just also like, what is this fabric?
Okay, so things open up. You have to go to some type of event. What are you going to wear?
Want a hat like this, probably a shirt like this, and that is it. And I'll get known by everyone. They'll always remember the guy in the hat, because I've gone to conventions before, and you do the follow. They want to know about your product. Call them later. I was saying, hey, it's Bob. Remember the guy in the hat? Oh, Bob, yeah.
Last question for you, I promise. Would you rather have 5 people that you absolutely love to work with, or 500 people that are underneath you?
5 people I actually love to work with. It's actually funny. One of the projects that I'm working on right now, all the business partners, we all got together. And I asked them, I says, okay, who here really wants to make $1 million a year? And no one raised their hand. I'm like, who here would be ecstatic with low to mid 6 figures? We all raised their hand. So we did the numbers like, okay, we get this many clients at this price point. Me and the CEO, we can be basically account reps. That's 20 to 30 hours a week. We'd all be making this. Everyone's like, we're good. So there we go.
So you just answered my why of doing what I do, because the freelance economy enables relationships that you really can't have in any other environment besides being remote and outcome based.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, if you embrace hiring freelancers, working with freelancers, collaborating with them, you can have 5 people that you absolutely love to work with, and you can team up dream teams, whatever you're doing, whether you're working in a company, whether you're working for yourself. The fun it's going to sound really cheesy. The fun never ends. Be like a Disney World slogan, but literally that's why I do what I do, because I've had freelancers that have changed my life in terms of how damn fun it is to work with them. But yeah, I kind of set you up for that plug. I know. That's
okay. I'll allow it there. I will totally allow it there. You got 45 seconds left. Do you want to do some promo time for anything, or we can end early?
I guess I will shout out or I'll put some promo in. If you are a leader looking to hire freelancers, reach out to me. We'll help you understand everything from what you should be hiring for to figuring out who is the perfect freelancer for you. On the end of the token, if you are a freelancer looking to scale your business, one of the biggest things that you're going to need is a network, specifically to refer work to and to collaborate with. We got the software for you at VentureL. That's it.
That's it. We pulled it off there. You did it. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Matthew, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Okay, I'm not that smart, but I'm going to guess it's because it looks like your name. Is that it?
That is correct, because I know it looks like Bob. Love it there. Hey, website, say it real quick.
MatthewRMottola.com.
It's in the description. It's magic. Matthew, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. And for everyone else watching or listening, I'm legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck this social media network tells you to do. You all have a wonderful day now. Talk to you later. Bye.